Example number 4. Three x plus 6 over x squared minus x minus 2 plus 4 over 2 minus x is equal to negative 4 over x squared plus 4x plus 3. Now, this is a particular example that we are looking at because when we are dealing with these quadratic equations, or rather these equations with fractions, and we want to apply the LCD, what I'm going to suggest is that we get the terms or the denominators to have, or rather each term to have linear denominators, right? So what do I mean by linear? Linear means that the highest power must be 1. Right, when it comes to the variable there. So clearly we can see that the second one is actually a linear term already. Okay, so how do we get these ones to be linear terms? Well, all we have to do is factorize them. So let's do that. Let's factorize them, and so I'm going to have 3x plus 6 all over factors of 2 I subtract to give me 1. That's 2 and 1. Okay, that's going to be negative 2 plus 1, right? And this over here, we can turn this around by the little trick that we learned in the previous video. Make that a minus, and then I simply put this as 4 over x minus 2, right? Because now if I say negative times negative 2, that gives me the positive 2, and negative times x gives me the negative x. So clearly we can see that these two terms, if I change that and make that a minus, they become equivalent. And that's equal to negative 4. Factors of 3 you add to give you 4, and that's going to be 3 and 1. And both is going to be positive. Okay, so now I can start looking at my LCD because the terms look a little bit better now. Okay, so let's see, what's the LCD going to look like? The LCD is going to be x plus 1, x minus 2. So I've already got the x plus 1 over there, I've got the x minus 2 there, I've got the x minus 2 there, I've got the x plus 1. I don't have an x plus 3, so I need to put that in the LCD, right? Okay, so now I say that x cannot equal the following values. It cannot equal to negative 1, it can't equal to positive 2, and it cannot equal to negative 3. Those are going to make my LCD 0 in each of those cases, right? Okay, so now let's see what this is going to look like. When I multiply each of these terms with the LCD, I can write down the numerator first, and I can see that the numerator here is clearly 3x plus 6, right? And when I multiply it by this thing, I'm going to get the following. X plus 1, x minus 2 cancels out. I'm left with x plus 3. I can put down my minus 4 over there. The x minus 2 will cancel out, and I'm left with x plus 1 times by x plus 3. And then I've got my minus 4 on this side. The x plus 1 cancels with x plus 1. The x plus 3 cancels with x plus 3. And what I'm left with is x minus 2. Okay, at this point it's a little bit of just some foiling or multiplying binomials with binomials, and you can see what we get there. This is going to give me 3x squared. That's going to give me positive 18. Okay, plus 18. That's going to give me positive 6x plus 9x gives me positive 15x. Right? Okay, this is going to give me minus 4. I'm going to work this out here. That gives me x squared, and that gives me positive 3. That gives me 1x plus 3x is 4x, right? So let's just multiply that out. That's going to give me x squared minus 4x squared, plus multiply this as well. The last one is going to give me positive 3 times negative 4. Positive 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Okay, this over here is going to give me 1x plus 3x is 4x. Positive 4x times negative 4 is negative 16x. And that's equal to negative 4x. This one's fairly simple over here. That times that and that times that. Negative times negative gives me a positive, and that's going to give me 8. Okay. At this point in time, it's a simple case of just adding up like terms. 3x squared with negative 4x squared is negative x squared. Okay, 15x minus 16x, right? That's going to give me negative x. That gives me that. That's going to give me positive 3x. Okay, and now if I look at that carefully, I've got 18 minus 12 is 6, right? Positive 6, that gives me positive 2 on this side. To bring it over, I've got negative 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so now at this point in time, I've got a negative x squared, and I can make things a little bit easier. I can either take everything to the other side, which gives me 0 equals positive x squared, or I can multiply by negative 1, same thing, negative 3x plus 2. And that's going to give me the following. Factors of 2 I add to give me 3, so it's going to be x and x, 2 and 1. Both of these are negative, and therefore I continue over here, x will equal to positive 1, or x equals to positive 2. Okay, so from our restriction we said it cannot equal to positive 2, so this one has to come out. Oops. That one has to come out because my restriction said it cannot equal to 2. But this one is clearly valid, so x equals 1 is a solution. Okay.